I think a job description should both attract and repel.
Okay.
Like somebody should read a job description and go, oh, hell no, that's not for me.
Right.
And the people that didn't read it and go, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I've been looking for all my life. Yes. So I look at 1,000 candidates as historically us being in love with volume, but not necessarily putting in the things in our job description or career site, whatever, in the things that would repel people.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight? Aha! Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at Canva.com.
Hey, this is William Tincup and Ryan Leary, and you are listening and hopefully watching the Practitioner's Corner. We have Tiffani Martinez on from Otter PR, and we're going, which is fascinating on so many levels. But we're going to talk about her career, kind of how she got here, some of the things that are important to her, both historically and also now. So, Tiffani, would you do us a favor and introduce yourself?
Love to. Again, my name's Tiffani. I have been with Otter PR now I'm in my 3rd year, and it's been amazing. My first startup business that I've worked for. So that's been a learning curve on a lot of aspects. I have a corporate insurance background, but did nonprofit for 12 years. And HR was only one side of the nonprofit side. So I have a lot of different backgrounds, true Florida native, born, raised, and lived in this state my entire life and have no ambition to leave it.
He's not coming up north of the cold.
Are we East Coast Florida?
No.
Gulf Coast Florida?
Gulf Coast, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's a
It's
Florida
all
that
the
I
East
like.
Coast because it's on the East Coast.
okay.
No, the Gulf.
I've always
the
had
Gulf.
this gripe with people in Florida. Like, I'm on the East Coast of Florida. I never say I'm on the West Coast of Pennsylvania. I just say Pennsylvania.
Listen, it can take 10 hours to drive from the Keys all the way up to Tallahassee. So we are on
100%.
today East Coast and West Coast just based on our
I guess. The
So-
driving
Gulf.
to the Keys is awful. Like, you
Okay.
just
From Miami?
keep going. No, from
It-
Philadelphia. You just keep going and going and going, and you never stop.
Well,
Like-
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's a little extreme.
Yeah. But the Keys is actually awesome.
I love the Keys.
But
I love the Keys.
all places in Florida. I mean, every time I traveled to Florida, I did my half of my honeymoon in Florida in Seaside on the Gulf Coast side.
Yeah.
And that was like 94, so there wasn't anything there.
Yeah,
So it was
no,
crazy.
it's definitely changed. And I tell
Definitely
everybody, we live where you guys vacation.
Yes, exactly right. Well, you live, did you say St. Pete or you said Tampa?
I live in Hillsborough County, like Tampa area, but the main headquarters is St. Pete. So I commute over the Skyway Bridge, the big scary bridge that everyone is terrified of. I drive that bridge every day.
Oh, I love that.
Fill
I
me
love
in.
that.
Why are they terrified?
So
It's high.
it's
Goes up very high.
really high. And in 1982 or 84, a barge hit it and took the bridge down, and it killed like 30 people because a Greyhound bus went over. It was horrible.
Right.
But they were the
It's a
ones.
long bridge.
Yeah, it's a very long bridge. But they were the ones that actually came up with they're called dolphins, believe it or not. That's what they're called. But they're concrete barriers now that actually sit out and away from the bridge for the new bridge. And it actually blocks. So if like a cruise ship or something was to lose control, it'll hit the dolphin
that first
and not hit the bridge. And that's supposed to be implemented now, like in bridges all over that cross water.
Wow, that is greatness. So I love St. Pete.
Yes.
Because I used to go to conferences there every year, and it's a fantastic place. But I also love Tampa because I had clients in Tampa for years, and I fell in love with Burns Steakhouse.
Burns is an experience. If you ever have time to come to Florida, you have to, especially Tampa, you have to do it. It is.
This is the second time you've talked about this place.
You have to take out a mortgage to go there, but
well, then start filing your paperwork, William, because when we go down there in June, we're going to Burns, and you're taking me there.
Well, Orlando
is it on the east coast of Florida? We're on the west coast. Yeah,
Tampa. Tampa's on. Yeah, it's worthy. Anyhow, so the work you do right now for Otter PR, do y'all shorten it to Otter, or do you say Otter PR?
I mean, internally we say Otter because we're internally, but I mean, if you don't really put the PR in there, we're like
people might not know what you do.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Animal sanctuary. Fun fact, that's why I clicked on their application. By the way,
who doesn't like otters?
Exactly.
Seriously,
and they have the cutest logo.
See, done.
Nice.
All right. So what are you into right now with your current position? Like, what's top of mind for you these days?
So I am the head of HR. I do everything. I am the first one you will meet if you're doing an interview with us. I do first round interviews. So on the recruiting side, I'm the one that goes through your assessments. I'm the one that onboards you. I am also the one that you will get in trouble with if you're not doing your work and put you on a performance plan. So I can be scary HR, but I really try not to be. One thing I really do is I try to tell everybody, if you're getting put on a performance plan, there's a reason why, and we've probably already had a verbal discussion on it, right? Now we're just keeping track so we can make sure that we're helping support you. Because some people will get on plans and they don't have this manager support, and we need to make sure we're holding the managers accountable too.
Right.
So the biggest thing right now is when we're hiring people, I have such a flood of applicants come in. We put a PR assistant role out not too long ago, and I had over 1,000 applicants come in. Like,
it's too many.
Way too many. And I tightened up my, first round, like before they even get through the assessments, because we do pretty good assessments to kind of filter. So I upped, the percentage they need to have. And I still think I have, 134 people right now just sitting that they've gotten the assessment and gotten the score and need to be reviewed. So that's for one position. I mean, come on, like
that's insane.
It's heartbreaking because there's so many good people that come through the pipeline. And you're like, oh, I really want this person. I would love this person's a great cultural fit. And it's what do you do? It's hard.
Where did you post the job?
So did
you post it like on Indeed?
Yeah, it goes on Indeed and
career site.
Yeah, our career site, and we use Breezy, that HR.
Yeah, of course.
For that.
They're out of Florida. That makes sense.
And we love that because it's so easy to use. I mean, it's just it helps me keep track of everybody. My assessments are in there. So I really like it. Our CEO loves it. So that if he's happy, I'm happy.
100%.
It should be the opposite way. If you're happy, he's happy.
Exactly. Do you this might be a loaded question or might not. Do you think the job description has impacted the number of people that applied to your job? And why I'm phrasing it that way is this is my bias. So I'll speak from that. I think a job description should both attract and repel.
Okay.
Like somebody should read a job description and go, oh, hell no, that's not for me.
Right.
And the people that didn't read it and go, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I've been looking for all my life. Yes. So I look at 1,000 candidates as historically us being in love with volume, but not necessarily putting in the things in our job description or career site, whatever, in the things that would repel people. You know, like it's
fair. That's a fair assessment. I'm not disagreeing with
not okay. So next time you post, will you think of that
I
differently?
will definitely think of that. I do think we definitely attract in the aspect, especially on like the publicist side, we're not your traditional public relations firm, right? We're not these 25, 30-year-old established firms that are very archaic in their methods and you pay for a year up front. And if you get something cool, if you don't, oh, well, you signed a contract and you're in. You know, we've really worked hard to make sure that we have relationships established with different people to get our clients the exposure that they're needing to be able to give guarantees saying, hey, we're not putting you in Forbes right out the gate, right? Like we can't necessarily do that. Your company just started, but let's build you up to where Forbes is asking for you. And so that's our goal, is to keep, you know, the clients where they just keep getting steam and building up. And I've been so grateful in the fact, with it being a startup, is not only, I mean, I have 15 plus years HR experience, right? So I know HR, like I can do it. And I know I'm good at it. That's one thing. I'm not the most confident human on the planet. I'll be full disclosure on that one. I'm probably my own worst enemy. But when it comes to dealing with other people and helping them, especially in their job, I know I'm good at that and advocating for that. But I think with our job things, we're willing to train, and we're willing to take someone that maybe is fresh out of college and they went for a communications degree, but they have no experience. We're going to teach you our way, and it's not the traditional way, and that's okay, because that's kind of what we want. We want to make sure that we're, training you the way that we want you to work with our clients, because it's working for us.
Yeah, and some of that volume, and I was thinking the same thing, William, is a job description screening out versus in, but graduation is here.
Yes.
And all of these people are graduating and saying, my mom and dad are going to charge me rent, or they're going to kick me out. They just spent all this money on degrees. They need a job. And I think
Tiffani, by the way, just for the record, I missed the memo telling my 18-year-old when she first turned 18 that I could charge her rent. Nobody gave me that memo in my adult handbook.
No, there's a comic. There's a comic on Netflix. His name's Earthquake. He's from Atlanta, and he has a bit on this. He goes, when you turn 18, I go from from your father to your advisor.
Right.
So when something goes on in your life, I can then say, I will advise you to do this. So it's like, disconnect. We're just gonna, your money is your money, and at 18, good luck with that. Yeah. But I think, like with what Ryan said on the college stuff, graduation stuff, I think there's something there, because you also say, we don't mind, you don't have to have 10 years of experience. Okay, we get it. You need to be trained. If you've already got academic, you can write. Okay, great. All right, but we're going to train you in our specific and unique way.
Yeah.
If I'm graduating the University of Texas and I got a comms degree and a journalism minor, I'm attracted to that because I know that the expectation isn't I have to come in with a network and all this other crazy stuff. It's like they can treat me like raw clay and build me up.
Right. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing of it. And we've had some individuals that have come in and they are superstars. I mean, they're amazing with the clients. They've got the softwares down packed. They can handle more caseloads than some of the other, people that maybe were tenured and came from other, PR firms.
Right.
So there's been success in that. Now that's a double-edged sword.
Right.
Because we have brand new people that, have been hustling and they get promoted, but then they don't have the managerial skills. And so that's been something I'm shifting my focus actually this summer, where we're actually going to do more one-on-one managerial trainings where I'm going to sit with the managers and the account strategists and really help them, because their emotional intelligence needs to be worked on. And not saying anything negative. It's just
no.
People don't know that with your EQ, you really have to try.
Yeah.
And you really have to push, and you really have to challenge yourself to take yourself out of the situation and look at it as an objective third party. And people we're all human. We all have emotions, and we want to have emotional reactions. And And sometimes
go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I would say past performance and success in performance, not necessarily an indicator of a great manager, right? Like we've had, I mean, literally, if we ran AI through the last probably dozen conversations we've had, I mean, this is it. This is the problem where middle management, right? Like first level managers, they're like, they were so good. They were the best salesperson in the world. They really suck as a manager. Like their entire sales team is quitting.
We didn't give them the tools and resources to be successful. It was a battlefield promotion, and we didn't give them those. And I think when you're talking about EQ, one of the things I love about what you're going to do this summer is you're a third party actually can say, okay, this is what I hear you saying. Okay, is that what you hear them saying? Okay, no, what I hear, like a third party can mediate that.
Yes.
Whereas them just doing it on their own, it's left to, hey, I'm busy. Okay, I know we had an hour. Can we get this done in 20 minutes? Okay,
right.
I don't have 20 minutes. Can we get it done in 10? And like everybody's busy, it doesn't get prioritized. And so empathy isn't an ingredient that gets baked in. And so a third party makes sure that it ensures that empathy it's just a conversation dripping with that.
Right.
Yes. And you have to have a certain talent to be empathetic to all aspects, because
100%.
You have to understand the human side of it, people going through things, people having a human reaction or response to something that's going on in their personal life, and they're bringing it to work and they don't even realize it. Right. And then also being empathetic to understanding the CEO and the CMO and saying, hey, they're not getting the job done. What's going on? And this person has opened up to you and told you, but asked you to keep confidence. So how do you have your loyalty to your company, but also know that your staff can trust you? And so there's a very fine line there on what you can do. And I think I have mastered that aspect of being able to have conversations openly. I do think that it helps that the C-suites, our founders especially, they have a high level of respect for me, and I have a high level of respect for them. I can come in and close the door and tell them, listen, I don't have anyone else to vent to because I am your top person when it comes to the people. So I don't have a vocalizing, avenue here. You need to listen to me. I'm going to complain, and I'm going to complain hard for a minute. And then if you want me to do something, then we'll do it. And then, but sometimes that's all it is I just need to come out with it and say, I've had 4 people come to me and they are so upset, and I've calmed it down, but now I'm upset. And I have all that emotion that's built up in me, and I can't do anything with it because I had to channel my own EQ to keep it regulated, and someone has to hear it, and it's too confidential. So guess what?
You're on the list. It's you.
And you know what? They listen and they were like, okay, what can we do? And sometimes they can't do anything. I'm like, sometimes it's like, I just got to work on it now on the back end, but thank you. And I'm like, and don't bring this up at my next review.
No, it's a conversation with no outcomes. I love the way people tell me, like, okay, I'm going to tell you this in confidence. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm not going to tweet it out or whatever. And then they say, you can't tell your wife. You can't tell anybody. Like, you literally can't tell anybody. I'm like,
everything.
100%. I'm like, here's what I know after 30 years of marriage. My wife's going to know everything.
Yes.
So if this is a deal breaker for you, go ahead and stop.
Yeah.
Because if you think for a moment that I'm not going to tell my wife, that's just insane.
I won't use names. My husband doesn't know the names of the people in my office anyway. Like, he doesn't. He's terrible with names. It took him 3 weeks to remember my name, and I still married him. So I mean, there's that.
Fair statement. Fair statement.
But,
I think we need to talk to him and get that story.
No.
Right.
You would love him. Let me tell you. My husband is this big, burly, 235-pound, all muscular man, and he is the biggest teddy bear with the kindest. And he just
is that him standing behind you, or is that some weird dude?
No, that's a different picture. But those are
the man standing behind you.
Oh no, there's no men standing.
It reminds me of my pit bulls. We have 2 pits, brother and sister. They look intimidating,
but they're not.
When you look at them, you're like, holy shit! Hide everything because they're about to eat your car.
Yeah.
These dogs, if you gave them a Dorito chip, they would show you where the safe is. They're such teddy bears. I'm like, I get it.
There's still that fear though of like they're just gonna snap at you. Like
No.
they're right there.
No. They're excited, but so we got a really good bit on what you're going to do this summer.
Yes.
Tell us what you pull. Okay, let's go back to high school, right?
Okay.
Or college.
Either or, it doesn't matter because my college is a little weird.
Okay, good.
We like weird. Let's do it.
We like weird. What did you want to be when you were younger?
So when I was in high school, I honestly had no idea. I assumed I was going to be in something with law enforcement, just because I have family that was involved in law enforcement. Always had a respect for law enforcement in general, and just I'm a rule follower. I'm kind of by the book on stuff. I mean, I guess that's why HR fits now.
Yep.
Policies, procedures.
There's a handbook. Yes.
Yeah. So when I went into college originally, I went to University of South Florida, and I was getting my degree in criminology with the intention of applying for the U.S. Marshals Service.
Ooh, tracks.
I could totally see you on like CSI in the ops room at the computer, like directing the show.
Tracks.
I could totally see
now.
So at that time, I remember I graduated high school in 2001.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
Wie wäre es, weniger Zeit mit dem Einkauf zu verbringen und dafür mehr Zeit für deine Lieblingspodcasts zu haben? Mit dem Rewe Abholservice geht das. Bestell deinen Einkauf einfach online und hol ihn bequem und fertig gepackt im Markt ab. Natürlich ohne Mindestbestellwert. So bleibt dir mehr Zeit für die nächste Podcast-Folge oder deine Lieblingstracks. Jetzt ausprobieren auf rewe.de/shop oder in der Rewe-App. Dein Rewe Abholservice. Online bestellen, im Markt abholen.
Right.
So when I was in college, September 11th happened.
Yep.
So a big uptick in people wanting to serve their country and do things. And I was like, I am not made for the military, and I know that, and that is okay.
Right.
But, being in the criminology department and having all that access, I was like, the U.S. Marshals, they want women. They can put us undercover a lot easier.
Right.
I was very much the wallflower in school. So I knew everybody, but everyone didn't necessarily know me. I just kind of blended into the background, right? I wasn't a cheerleader. I wasn't president of, the student council or anything like that. I got good grades. I did my thing, but I also just kind of kept to myself. Only child, so no big deal. So I was really gung-ho on it. And then I met my husband.
Oh, it's his fault.
The wheels of the bus. This is where they fall off. Got it.
It's all Bobby's fault. So I met my husband. I knew immediately. I was like, all my plans are done. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now, but I'm not going away. I'm not leaving him. He's I always say former Marine because he's not actively in.
There's no such thing.
Say that. I know you don't say they're not former Marines, but he was, not too long out of the service. He's a little bit older than me, but he was out of the Corps. He had been previously engaged in the Corps, and one of the things he had said was like, "Listen, I want to be with you, but he's like, I want to support you if you want to do this. But the reason I ended my engagement was because she didn't have time for me, even when I got back from my deployments." He's like, I want to start a family. I want to grow with somebody. And I said, I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So I switched gears drastically by finding out on my 21st birthday I was pregnant with my oldest daughter now. We met when I was 19, so we had been together for a few years, and we were wanting to get married, and we were going to wait till my 21st birthday to go to Vegas and elope just to irritate my dad. that was the whole purpose.
I like all this. I like all of this.
Let me get some popcorn. Jeez.
Oh my God, I love all this.
I was feeling a little sick. Didn't understand why I was feeling sick.
Yeah, of course.
When we first found out I was pregnant, I was like 90 pounds soaking wet. I was a very small little person, so me being sick, not really a shocker. But my husband's like, did you do a pregnancy test? And I'm like, well, no, why? And he's like, you probably should rule that out based on you getting sick every single morning. And I'm like, because
it's called morning sickness for a reason, but just do a thing.
It was grossing me out. So I was like, okay, well, fine, then I'll just do it. And I literally, on my birthday, before we went to Spaghetti Warehouse for dinner, I did a pregnancy test.
I missed that space. That was a good restaurant.
So I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, this is amazing. And I was like,
you're like, what?
What are you gonna do? I was like, we're not ready for this. I ended up going to work for an insurance company, so I would have good benefits. Worked there. I had my first daughter. I actually had my first daughter, and I took 2 years off. Where my husband worked 3 jobs. He refused to let me work. So me and my oldest daughter were like best little pals, and go to the mall, play in the playgrounds, and that was probably one of the best experiences of my life. And I'm very grateful to this day to my husband for that, to give me that time. Then went into the insurance aspect, got insured and licensed to write policies in like 15 different states.
Again, policies
and procedures, right?
Right, there's rules. All righty.
So you're seeing a trend, right? So,
I am. I like it.
Then my father was in a motorcycle accident and passed away. And
oh my God.
Yeah, and 80-year-old woman just turned right out in front of him on a road. She claimed she never saw him. He was very old school. He was a California Highway Patrol motorcycle officer back in the day. He was a Vietnam veteran in the Army, and he was one of those old guys that rode his motorcycle without a helmet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what did him in, because his body was fine. It was because he hit his head, and that's why he passed away. So that happened in 2008. I shut down. I left my job. I said, I can't do this. I lost faith. I lost everything. My husband stuck by my side. He's like, you need to get help. You need therapy. He's like, I love you. And you're not even you don't want to take care of yourself, let alone your daughter, who my daughter was 3 going on 4 at the time. He's like, you've got to get help, Tiffani. And I finally was like, yeah, you're right. I need help. And I did get help. And I went to counseling for about 6 months and started volunteering at my daughter's school because she was about to start kindergarten. So I got involved there, which surprisingly was the same school that I went to elementary school. So there were still my kindergarten teacher still works there to this day.
Oh, man.
And I was volunteering with her. And that gave me a little bit of like, okay, I have some purpose.
Yeah.
Found out.
Meaning came back into your life.
Exactly. Then found out we were pregnant with our second daughter. So I was able to stay home for a couple years, have her volunteer, and actually found a church nearby. I was the PTA president at the time at my daughter's school, and went to the church to ask for a blanket drive because it's a Title I school. So it's in a very poor community. And 80% of the population there are at or below poverty level. And so there were kids in that school that they would have to take turns with the blankets during the winter because there wasn't enough blankets for all the kids.
Right.
So I was just trying to do what I could, find some purpose. I met one of the children directors there and one of the pastors there, and they were like, we'd love you to come to church. Now, mind you, this church is in a retirement community. So it was 55 and up. All older retirees, like their average age was 72, and so they're like, "We'd love for you and your girls to come to church." And I go,
"We need some young blood. We need some."
But I was like, "Where are we going to?"
You can take that 2 ways. Do I look 55, or like, what are we doing?
They wanted young blood, but I was like, "Where are you going to put my kids?" I was like, "My girls are really well behaved, but I don't know if they're going to get through an hour-long church." So it's like, "Oh no, we have a kids club," and I'm like, "Wait, what? You have a what?" And they're like, yeah, we have a kids club. And so I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? We'll try it. And we went,
babysitting.
And I started volunteering there. And then they asked me to be the youth director because they didn't have anybody that was young enough to keep up with teenagers. And mind you, I have 0 religious experience. I learned it there at church. So ended up doing youth pastoring there part-time. They were building a new building and they didn't have anybody to run the administrative side. I started volunteering. Their staff parish group was like, hey, do you have a resume? And I go, I haven't worked in like 3 years, guys. I'm like,
hard pass.
And don't run a background check, please.
I'm like, oh, my background is so clean, it's depressing. Like she's the most boring human on the planet. But I went ahead and gave them a resume, and they're like, all right, we want you to start working here. And I started off just as like the front desk helping, ended up becoming the pastor's assistant, and then ended up becoming the director of operations. And I was doing all their human resource work, all their vendor work. I was seeing the members from the first time they came in as a visitor and putting them in the columbarium when they passed away. I was doing all of it. And that was when I really kind of started to understand HR a little bit more, because the only HR I had understood was when I was putting in my resignation after my dad died. I did, and having an exit interview and being emotional. Like I had no understanding of HR before that. So I actually went back to school and graduated in 2022 with my human resource management degree.
Oh, very cool.
Very nice.
And did that while working at the church full time. And then I told the church, I don't know if you're going to be able to afford to keep me now, because with the degree and with the years of experience I've gained, I know my worth, and I want to be able to keep growing. And I've hit my ceiling. I was doing everything. I mean, I was filling in on preaching. I'm like, guys, I can't do anymore. And I want to keep growing. I'm like, and so, I'm doing children's ministry stuff. I'm doing youth ministry stuff. I'm volunteering. I'm taking these kids to camp. I'm like, I'm doing all your vendor stuff. I'm doing all your IT support. I'm doing all of it. I got nowhere else to go. And I cried when I told them that I was going to start looking. And my mentor, my absolute mentor, his name's Sam Rohr. He was a chaplain in the Air Force, and then was a pastor and retired from that church. He retired right before I ended up leaving, or right after. No, he left right after I left. And he really helped mentor me to kind of hone in the EQ skills and really have me tap into that emotional intelligence. That man had a gift for, he would sit there and have a conversation with you, and it could be the worst conversation on the planet. And he would make you think you initiated the conversation and you came to the conclusion he wanted you to on your own. It was a
Jedi.
I know a few people like that.
It was amazing. And so
these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Literally. And so I tapped into that, and I still talk to him to this day. And when I'm really stressed out about something, I'm like, I need to bounce something off of you. So he still, gives me that insight. And he always tells me, he's like, you already know the answer. He's like, I know you already know the answer. He's like, but it's fine. I'll talk to you. And he's just been, he was really pivotal, encouraging me to apply at other places. And I actually didn't apply at a lot. I think maybe 2 places. And then Otter's application came up, and they were actually just looking for an executive admin. But I was so intrigued by the logo of the company, and I clicked in and I went down this rabbit hole on their website. And I applied anyway. And when I had the first round interview with one of their recruiting people, I was like, listen, the role that you're looking for is not the right role that you have up there. I'll help you rewrite your job description if you want, because I think you guys have a great thing going. And he goes, can I follow up with you? And I said, yes. And apparently he called the CEO and he goes, if you don't hire her for HR director, we're all quitting, because we need an HR. They didn't have an HR person. The CEO was still acting as the HR person. And they knew they were growing and getting to that point where they're like, we've got to have somebody in. And so I had gone in and interviewed with Scott, the CEO. And then he asked me if I could come in and meet with him and Jay. And I said, yes, because I have questions for you as well. They were very scared because I had this 12 years with this church, and I guess they thought I was going to come in like some sister Francis.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, my husband's a Marine. My dad was a truck driver. My grandpa was a sailor. You're good.
We're good. You're good. I can separate the two. We're good.
We're good. So
when you did your degree, what, through that process, so many questions about that, but basically, what did you learn? What was shocking? what did you, at the end of the day, degrees, cool, probably certifications, cool. Was there anything in that process where you're like, oh, hell, I didn't know that?
Yeah.
Or
a lot of the, you're kind of shocked when you're thrown into HR. Like, this isn't something obviously I was looking for, right? It just comes in because I'm good at it. I was shocked, and still am, honestly, to this day, of how much HR is like the big bully and don't trust HR. HR is not your friend. HR is only there for the company. And I'm like, who did this?
Yeah.
This to us?
Yeah.
I want to blame somebody. Who, where?
This isn't how I work. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't get it. But when I reflect back and I think about I worked at a giant insurance company. I mean, they're big. And when I worked there, I was like, yeah, the HR was the scary ones in that one back office that no one wanted to even walk by and get like accused of not doing anything. And
HR was always you go there when you have a problem. You go there when you need to bring your box with you, right? You're packing up, getting your pink slip. It's never been a resource until recently. And so recently, probably the last decade, right? Like, it's actually become a resource for people, especially post-COVID, post-pandemic. 100%. Like, with all of these, I call them fears that employees had, right? I don't feel right. I'm going to explode. All this stuff. Now the resources are there, and there's a shit ton of software to help manage all of that, from mental health to weight loss to everything. That HR, has their hand in now. So it's becoming very different. Has become different.
That's what honestly pushed me to go ahead and go back to school to get an HR degree, was because I was seeing that shift of the want for a supportive HR. And I was like, I can do this. I'm already doing the paperwork aspect. I'm already doing the legality aspect. I have the natural empathy. I have the natural talent. I mean, if you can survive at a church of retirees for 12 years without making people, you can do anything. Let me tell you.
That was Fallujah for you. You made it past that. You excelled at it. What y'all were talking about a second ago, HR's been branded historically as the no department.
Yes.
And worse than that, there's no good news that emulates from HR.
Yes.
And so I think COVID, blessing in a disguise, everyone had to depend on, and it was the building of that, rebuilding trust.
Yes.
And they're going to be over communicative and understand kind of what's going on, to Ryan's point. What do you think's next with HR? Like, where do you, if not, yourself, where do you think HR goes from here in kind of that next, I would say, iteration or evolution, but where do you think they go as professionals?
I think it has to get to the aspect of once I don't think you master empathy. I think empathy is something that you continually learn and you evolve with based on your age. I'm not the same person I am now at almost 42 that I was at 26, right? Like, not even remotely close. So I think that having more people enter an HR field after they've done other things is going to be the biggest bonus for companies. Because if you get someone that was working retail in the trenches and then decided, I want to do something where I'm not working these crazy hours, I want to have some structure and I want to be able to help people, and you have a desire and actually find out that you're good at HR and you get into that field, companies need to make sure that they're taking that into account when they're looking to put HR professionals in, not just looking for the person that has all the certifications and all the letters at the end of their name.
Yeah, and HR has become, William, to your point, I think HR has become, over the last, for a long time, but it recently has become part of the business. Like, it's a driver for the business. It's no longer personnel department, right? So all of these things that we're talking about, they drive revenue. They really do. Mental health, productivity, engagement, all of this stuff where human resources or people within that huge chunk of HR is a driver to the business. Without it, it just doesn't function. It's changed. So I'm curious though, Tiffani, to get your take on this. So Where does HR differ? So when you came into Otter, how many people were at the company at the time?
I think maybe 15, 20.
Okay, and you're at 60 now, 60
Yeah.
plus, right?
In a
So
3-year time span, we've exploded.
right. So what has changed from a 15-person company? Because William and I, we've both been part of the 15-person company and larger. But from an HR perspective, 15 people, they decided, okay, time to take this from the CEO. Let's give it to a real HR person. To now, what has
new
changed?
employment laws or
Well,
different employment laws
yeah,
apply.
yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
So
Tiffani,
what's changed?
So it was the HR was just the documentation, signing an offer letter,
Right.
signing a contract. There was no emotional.
Right.
So me coming in, we joke because we don't do the whole we're family, because I have family I can't stand. I don't do that with businesses. I'm like, if you have a run, if someone says we're family, run.
Best take ever. Best take ever.
You can choose your friends, not your family.
Yes.
Tiffani, the next time you do a job description, that needs to be the first thing. Like out of the gate, yes, senior public relations associate. Okay. And by the way, boom. If someone says that your business employees, etc., if they say family, run.
Yeah, right.
We're not a family. We work together. Again, now I'm reading that as a candidate going, okay, that's for me. Okay.
Yes.
We
Okay,
work
I get
together.
it.
We might drink at a happy hour. Outside of that, I don't give a flying what you do.
Yeah. I love that.
And so I will joke and tell them I can be like a mama otter, in the sense of I'm going to try to help you as much as I can, not just in business,
right?
Making sure you're getting stuff done, but like we had a new hire. She's moved down here before her husband. They're closing on a house together, but the husband is still stationed up north, and he doesn't even know if he's going to be at the closing. And I told her, I was like, well, have you had your title agency make sure that you have power of attorney to sign on his behalf? She goes, I don't even know what that is. And I was like, you need to put this in a message to your title agency right now. And this was day one of her working here. And she's like, you probably just saved me a potential, month backlash of having to go back and forth because we wouldn't have had the right paperwork. Thank you so much. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm like, I've lived a little bit more life than some of you, and I've gone through some other things that you guys haven't, and I want to help. So me stepping into Otter and taking over the HR side, I was able to put the human into the human resources, to where now I'm the resource for the humans. And at least at Otter, that's exactly what my job role is. I am, yes, I make sure the company is compliant. I do our e-verifies. I make sure that, when we're hitting, FMLA or ADA or all those compliance, I'm up to date on it. I'm always following the Department of Labor on new rules that are rolling out. Obviously policies and procedures, it's my jam. I have no problem doing it. But I take time to visit with staff in office. I check in with the ones that, are remote. I have conversations with them that are not work related on purpose to just kind of gauge how their mental health is doing. When I send a newsletter every month, right? And I do it, and it's highlighting everybody that's got a promotion, whether it's, a tier promotion or if they've had a lateral move within the company, but just recognizing their achievements. We always have our Otter of the month, somebody that's done something, pivotal, that's been real helpful, supportive of the team, or just kind of stood out. And then I may have an announcement, like we decided to change something in our performance review. So I gave a little short announcement there. But the rest of the newsletter, it's only 2 pages, but the rest of the newsletter, I gave them cheesy fun facts of April, like, with the birthstone and how April became. And then I gave them a spring into May with a clear mind, and things for them to self-reflect on and ask questions to themselves. How have you given back to someone else in the month of April? What made you smile in April? Things to make them stop and disconnect their brain from all the work and take a minute to think about themselves. Because if they are not taking care of themselves, they're not going to take care of the clients. They're not going to be devoted to the company. And then we're going to have complete turnover, and that we're making an investment in them. So we want to make sure that we're fully vested this isn't just about the 40 hours that you show up. One of our higher tier place publicist, account strategist, he's got a family emergency right now, and he was so scared to like say, hey, I think I need time off. And we told him, no, you're taking time off. I went in and took him out of the calendar, and his manager took all of his calls, and we were like, we love you. We'll see you in a week. If you need more, that's fine, but we've got this. We'll revisit on Friday. Do not call us. Do not sign into your emails. Do not worry about anything. Go see your family. And he called me today, and he was a little emotional, and he's like, I just want to tell you thank you. And I was like, I've got this. I'm like, if you need to talk to me, I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning. If I don't answer, it's because I'm sleeping and I'm atomic bomb can go off. I won't hear it. But if I'm awake enough to hear my phone ring, I will answer for you. And if you need to just hear someone's voice, it's fine. They're human beings. Yes, I'm paying them for a service, but they're still human beings. I got so sick with COVID, you guys. So sick in 21, right after my first year of being here. It was actually right before I started. It was when I was still finishing up at the church, and I got so sick. Then I got sick again the first year. I got it 2 times in a row. I have an autoimmune disease now. I have heart issues. I have all this stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's horrible. That's a whole nother segment for you guys if you want, but it was so bad. It was so bad. And
wow.
Probably I've been to 45 different doctors. They can't justify anything except long haulers COVID, and I have tachycardia and fibromyalgia, and just list it. God. I still go to work. I still come in. But when I'm having a really bad day, or if I'm having a flare up or something's going on, I message my co-founders and I say, I cannot drive today. And they're like, they literally say, feel better. They know I will handle what needs to be handled. It's that respect thing. They know I'm a human. I will have bad days, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's where I think HR needs to go. They got to start understanding these people are human beings.
There's so much of this could go into a job description to repel people or attract people.
Well, we'll give you the transcript and let you run it through AI.
Yeah.
Create a job description.
Is there anything professionally? This is the last question for me. Is there anything professionally achievements that you'd like to achieve, like next? Because you seem goal oriented. You seem like that person. Like I'm going to think about the next thing. I'm going to do an MBA. I'm going to go do Six Sigma, whatever the bit is. You're going to find some other mountain to climb.
Yeah, I want my master's in HR. I really do.
Okay.
Just because I want to see, based on how things have changed just over the last few years of me being in school, what new things are out there, what new aspects are out there, what new things I could potentially learn that could make me better for the company and for the staff, because I really advocate on the continuing education side of just being a better human in general. You're challenging your mind, you're keeping your brain going, which keeps your body going. And I know I need that right now.
Nice. Tiffani, this has been fantastic. Yeah.
100%.
We had a really good conversation here. Appreciate it. I think everyone who's listening is going to find some little nuggets in here. And we'll get a lot of comments on the job description, so we'll pass those over. But
I love it. Please do. I always love feedback. I'm all for feedback.
Yeah. And for anybody who hasn't heard back from Tiffani yet, when you hear this, you'll understand why, and then you won't hate her. It'll be all good. You'll love her. It'll be all good.
It's so funny that you said that, because I tell people when I'm doing first round interviews, I'm like, listen, I do not try to ghost people. Please send me an email in 2 weeks if you haven't heard from me, so I can give you an update. And I do. I take time every single week. I take time to go through emails to make sure that I respond to anybody that's asked for an update, even if it's not a happy update. We filled the position. I will still try to give them that update. That's the least you can do on a respect level, to let them know.
Again,
might be time to
part.
Go ahead.
No, it gets back to being humane.
Yeah. It might be time to get you a recruiter, in-house recruiter. We'll work on that for you.
When we have big hiring pushes, yes, it would be nice to have the help.
Right.
But I personally feel like, and this is me being I'm putting myself over, which I don't actually like doing, but the ones that I've done first round interviews and the ones that I've said are my 10s and we need to hire and we've hired have been amazing. And when others have done it,
for everybody else, they sucked.
I'm not saying.
I'm not saying I'm a great recruiter. I'm not saying.
Is that correlation or causation? I can't remember.
Hasn't gone as smoothly as I would like. Let's say.
Love it. Tiffani, thank you so much for your time today, being on the show and sharing your experience and your journey with the audience. You've been lovely. Just thank you. Say hello to your husband for us.
I will. I'll make sure when this all goes and you guys send me the link, I'll be like, babe, you got to listen. I gave you lovins on the
Exactly. Shout out.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thank you again. And thanks for the audience. Brian, appreciate you.